Hi there. The Geller trap was played between the great Na5 Geller against Joseph Vatnikov in the semi-finals of the USSR Championships in 1950. It's in the Sicilian after e4 and c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, takes and knight takes on d4, knight f6 and knight c3 and d6, so classical Sicilian. After bishop c4, we've entered into the Sicilian Sozin variation, a favourite of Bobby Fischer's. After e6 and castles, black develops with bishop to e7 and bishop e3 is met by castles. The bishop drops back to b3 and knight a5. We've reached one of the critical positions of this trap. And this is an extremely common position. Knight a5 has been played many times before, to try and trade with that very threatening bishop on b3. In many variations, that diagonal opens up, so knight a5 is going to trade. So here white plays energetically. Black's wasted a move, if you like, by putting the knight to the rim, so a pawn in the center threatening f5 or e5. Black plays b6, still more or less equal, and now e5 is played. The knight drops back. Black avoids trading pawns, and now f5, the second pawn, comes forward. It's already getting a little bit complicated. After d takes on e5, hitting the knight on d4, white doesn't run with the knight, rather takes on e6, f takes on e6. And this position would still be more or less equal if black were to play e takes on d4, then e takes on f7 is check. That's going to get the piece back, but black could more or less hold on here. It should be evaluated at more or less equal. Vatnikov in this position, after f takes on e6, Vatnikov here played the losing move f6. It looks as if it's supporting the pawn on e5. It's ensuring, at least for the time being, that diagonal is closed and it's not going to open, and knight takes on b3 is going to happen. However, Geller found the win here by playing knight to f5, offering a trade of queens. But if the queens are traded, then knight takes on e7 first with check, and white's going to be a piece up. So black takes the bishop now on b3, but it's all too late because white doesn't have to recapture that knight. Winning is knight d5 now, leaving that knight on b3 precariously hanging, while the two knights combine, adding their force, hitting the bishop on e7. If knight d4, as was played, then knight d takes on e7, check, king h8, and now Geller can finish it off in a number of ways. Knight g6 is particularly attractive. It's check, it's offering the knight up, but the pawn now on e6 is going to head to e7. So after h takes on g6, the pawn indeed advances to e7, forking the queen and the rook. Queen c7 is met by e takes f8 check. It's certainly game over now. After king h7, I believe the most forceful win for white here would simply just to play queen to g4, and the queen's going to probably work her way over to the h file. Instead, Geller played in a showboating manner here, went for the spectacular, even the psychedelic queen h5 check. That doesn't look right to me. Giving up the queen, the idea being that after g takes h5, we'll just run through the moves of the game itself. Queen takes on e8, gets a piece for the queen, but hardly worth it. After knight takes the knight on f5, queen takes h5, king g8, the queen back to e8 check, king h7, and now rook takes on f5. And after bishop takes rook, queen takes the rook on a8, and white is a clear rook up, and that's clearly enough to win. So this has been the Geller trap in the Sicilian Sozin. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.